And now, James and Stu present the Top Turnbuckle Podcast. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
Okay, so we move on, and Johnny has picked the next topic, and would you mind telling me what that topic is, Johnny?
Yep, no worries. The next topic will be the top 3 underrated gimmicks that had potential.
Really, really good. I really like this topic. I think I speak for everyone here that this has changed a lot.
Yeah, big time.
I imagine that most people here had about 15 people on their list at one point. Yeah, I did.
One of mine went in and stayed in from the get-go.
Yeah.
Which is my first one, I'm going to say.
I've been back and forward non-stop since I first mentioned it.
So, who wants to go first?
I think me and Jonathan should go first.
Go.
Okay.
And I say me and Jonathan because we picked the same person again.
We have, yes.
Okay, so.
Synergy.
I've been spying over your shoulder waving right now. Creeping in the bushes.
Yeah.
Like 7.
Yes, exactly.
Fuck me. Okay, so our first one, and this guy, there's not a lot, really, is there, wrestling-wise, that you can say about this guy, because he doesn't last very long. It's Weylon Mercy.
Yep.
Now, Weylon Mercy, real name Dan Spivey, he had a long career before being Weylon Mercy. I mean, he went around the block. He basically was in most territories, wasn't he?
He actually was in WWF back in 1986.
He was.
With Mike Rotundo.
Yes.
No way.
Yes, he also was supposed to be the replacement for Rick Steiner when Scott come along in the Veracity Club.
Wow.
Which was in WCW.
That was, yeah.
And that was to do with Mike Rotunda as well.
Oh, shit.
And then he went on to be a member of the Skyscrapers tag team with Mean Mark.
Yes. And for a little while, Sid.
Yes.
Oh.
Yep. So Dan Spivey was with both Sid and Taker for a little while.
I've never been able to get over the name Mean Mark, though. It's just it's just very scary.
Undertaker, Mean Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, his body was pretty broken down when he got to WWF in 1995. The character of Weylon Mercy is so unique.
It's so before its time as well, I think.
It is. It's based, apparently, off of the Robert De Niro character from Cape Fear.
Max Cady.
I actually watched that film about a month ago, and you can tell the similarities between the two of them.
Absolutely fucking phenomenal film.
It was Dan Spivey's idea, which I always find interesting.
Yeah.
And how do I explain Weylon Mercy? Now, he was a person who come down and he was as nice as pie.
Yeah.
He would go and shake everyone's hands as he was coming down the aisle. He would shake the referee's hands. He would be the utmost gentleman. The bell would ring and he'd turn into an absolute insane savage.
He'd just snap, wouldn't he?
Yeah. As soon as the bell went, he'd go back the same.
Yeah.
He'd go back nice again.
And he'd shake the referee's hand again.
Yeah. Again, the comparison between Robert De Niro's character, Max Cady, nice as pie, very polite, southern style.
Yeah.
He had that air that there was something really wrong with him.
Yeah.
It was those eyes, just the eyes. Like.
But there was enough mysteriousness in that character that you didn't know the whole story.
Yeah.
And you were like, you wanted to know more.
Yeah.
The vignettes.
I love the vignettes.
Yeah, they were so good. Guys, go back on YouTube.
He had that accent, and then he had like the fake tattoo in the middle of his head.
Yeah.
Like a dagger. A bit like Brock Lesnar's massive dagger on his chest.
It was kind of like an upside down cross.
Crucifix.
Yeah. That's what I mean. There were little intricacies in his attire where you could see something wasn't quite right. He would do things like he would sit at the ponds and look at the ducks, and he would talk about how everyone comes around this lovely, but there was some sinisterness to it.
There's one where he's got a worm on him as well.
Yeah, he cuts the worm.
Flicks it off. It's very strange.
It's ironic that you mentioned the name Rotunda.
Yes, well, we're coming on to that.
Yes,
there we
right to
go.
that.
So
he also had he had a catchphrase as well.
Yeah.
It was, Lives are going to be in Weylon Mercy's hands. Like, very bad.
It was too much, Johnny. That was good. I didn't want to go there, mate.
I wasn't going to, and I thought, I'm just going to throw it out there and see what happens.
It was good, mate. He also used that at the start of his theme when he was coming out.
Yeah.
Very few matches. He had a match, I think, at In Your House 3.
Yeah, that was his final one, actually.
Yeah, Savio Vega. Loses as well.
He does. I actually done a bit of research. In total, between the day he debuted in June of 95, September he was gone of that year, he actually had 16 matches. And 10 of those were jobber matches. The only match he really won against was Doink the Clown.
Yeah.
He lost against Bret Hart, Diesel, and his last match was Savio Vega. They lost.
Wow.
Now, I believe, I could be wrong here, I believe that one of the matches, because I think there was an idea at one point, one house match of pushing him, he won by count out against Diesel.
Okay.
Yes,
You'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
But I believe that they thought there was something there.
Right.
The problem is the wrestling. He couldn't do it anymore. He was so injured, and he actually retires the same year. He retires in 1995 through injury. Just his body's broken.
2 weeks later, he actually went into hospital and had an operation. So that's how bad he was.
I'll move on to obviously the similarities with Bray Wyatt. Now, this is rumoured, but apparently Wyndham Rotunda, Bray Wyatt, says that Dan Spivey gave him the gimmick.
Yeah,
gave him Bray Wyatt.
I heard this as well. I heard Bray Wyatt went to him and Dan Spivey helped him with the character at the beginning with the coat Wyatt.
And look at where that went.
Yeah.
And look at the shirts. They're both
wearing the Hawaiian shirts, the white trousers.
Yeah.
It's very Weylon Mercy-esque.
The persona, the sitting in the Sister Abigail chair and just
all of it.
It's just that whole southern terror.
Unfortunately, I think you agree with me, John. I'm not going to go into Dan Spivey's career, but unfortunately, there's not a lot more to be said. He is one of those what-if mysteries, really. Where could he have gone?
I do feel like he came along in the wrong time.
Yeah.
I think if he'd come around a little bit later and he was healthier and younger, him and Austin could have had a great feud together.
Cool.
Oh, God, yeah.
Even going back earlier, I could see him in there with Hogan.
Yeah,
can you imagine?
You've
got that reverse type of Undertaker deal. You've got that person who is appearing light and lovely, but it's really dark. And I could see it working with Hogan.
See, you're saying that as well.
I really could.
Two people on that same kind of wavelength. I'd have loved to have seen that. And Jake Roberts.
Yeah, it would have been strange. It would have been a really, really
been hard
unique. I'm not sure it'd been hard. It would have been good.
Where'd you go with it?
Yeah.
I think Jake Roberts from 91, where he turned heel and he was just like a bit more of a darker character.
Yeah.
Him and Weylon Mercy together at that sort of time could have been pretty good.
Cool, dear, could they? Instead of the Undertaker, you mean?
Yeah,
because you've got someone who can talk with Roberts, and they both don't shout.
Yeah.
They both are quite calm, and it would have been sinister.
Again, with the comparison between those characters and like Hollywood characters, I personally find a villain way more terrifying when they don't shout, scream, get angry.
Yep.
Just as a perfect example, Heath Ledger is the Joker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Calm.
So there's my case, Weylon Mercy. Any extras, John?
No, I think that's about it. To be honest, there isn't much to really say about him.
It's sad. It's a short tenure in a very bad time of gimmicks where something really could have took off.
But it's great that people are still talking about him now, and it's been able to be carried on to Bray Wyatt.
Yep. I think more people are talking about him now than they were in 1995.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, good.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
So, you two done on that first one?
Yep.
Right, I'm my first one, which was, as I stated, is the one that just came to mind straight away, which is WWE's version of Woken Matt Hardy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, they shit the bed big time.
Yeah.
Absolutely shit the bed. The whole broken Matt Hardy gimmick was fucking outstanding.
Yeah, the whole TNA, Impact, everything.
It was brilliant.
Great.
It made me see him in a completely different light, because I'll be honest, out of Matt and Jeff Hardy, I found Matt dull as shit.
I always saw that there might, if Matt could do what he did, what you're talking about, I always saw there was a bigger ceiling for Matt. I always thought that Jeff, he had the high-flying stuff, but I don't think he had the ring IQ.
No,
Matt
I totally
to me
agree.
did.
And don't get me
true,
wrong,
yeah.
I love Jeff Hardy, I do. But that whole broken Matt Hardy gimmick was just like, holy shit.
It was different than anything else. Nothing else had been like it at all.
Yeah.
Also, he kayfabed it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would go on.
he's-
He would go on interviews. I remember he went on one with Chris Jericho, and he stayed in that character the whole time. So
I mean, the first time I ever heard him do an interview, and it came on going, yes, wonderful, was fucking brilliant.
he's
I'm like, what the fuck is this?
he
Is he
spent.
fucking
hair was all
high?
up
I
in the
know.
air.
Oh, you got proper
He's-
back combs.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you haven't listened to it, listen to the Talk is Jericho podcast where he's on there. He stays in character for an hour and a half, and he tells Jericho's whole ancestry.
The deities.
Yeah, both of them.
It's brilliant.
It's
Yeah.
really good, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very good.
I mean,
WWE just ruined it, though. They didn't want to touch it.
fuck.
It took them long enough for the gimmick to actually come
Yeah.
out in the WWE.
It's a fact as well, and I still state it's one of the biggest WrestleMania pops of the last 10 years, but when the Hardy Boys returned,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that WrestleMania pop was fucking massive. But can you remember what the crowd was shouting?
Delete.
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 This is what they wanted to say.
That's what the fans wanted, and that proves the point.
Yeah.
This gimmick, literally, they had the world in their palm for that. That could have been massive.
And WWE only did the one. Well, they didn't want to do the match, did they? When it was him and Bray Wyatt.
And it was...
That actually, to me, ruined both.
Now, I did read, how true this is, I don't know. I did read that it was Bray that was pushing for it. He was the one that wanted to do it. They wanted to go into the what was the name of the match?
It was the
Hardy House.
Yeah, Hardy House.
It was basically like the Matt and Jeff
Compound.
ultimate
Hardy
deletion.
Compound.
That's the one.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it.
And it was gonna, it was like the whole
he
baptism on the
He
water.
threw him in the water, didn't he?
Yeah.
The Lake of Reincarnation.
I was just about to say that. I love that. Now, the whole Matt and Jeff storyline with that was brilliant.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was absolutely fucking amazing. You saw both of them kind of going, fuck, we've got free reign. Let's go as fucking weird as possible, and then you get Brother Nero.
That's it.
Brilliant. If they could have recreated, I'll take that back. If they were allowed to do that with Bray Wyatt,
Yeah.
that could have been phenomenal.
Yeah.
But they just shit the bed with it.
They didn't go. The problem is when I say, about it ruined both of them, they didn't take it anywhere.
No.
They didn't take it anywhere. I think they won an Andre the Giant battle royal between the pair of them.
Bray helped Matt win.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And that was it.
Yeah.
That was the end of it.
I still remember the match on the actual match between Bray and Matt on Raw, and the commentators before the match, they went, "You're going to see something different now. That's all we can really say."
Yeah.
And they didn't want to know. They didn't put it over or anything.
No,
it just
they
came
weren't
across that
interested.
That's exactly what I was
And
about to say.
the reason why
They just
for a
didn't
lot
give
of
a
that,
shit.
No.
the reason why for a lot of that is it wasn't Vince's.
No. However,
Vince is well known for that. If it's not he's not interested.
I will admit, there was a little kind of segment that he did backstage after they won the tag titles, and they bump into Jeff.
Oh yes,
Oh,
I
yeah, I
remember
remember
seeing
that.
that. Yeah, that was good.
How are you, brother?
Yes,
Wonderful.
no, that was good.
I always remember, and this is before the WWF. This is when it started taking off for Matt. Do you remember Damien Sandow?
Yeah.
Yes,
Have you ever seen the sit down when they both sit down in the middle of the ring? It's from an indie, and they both sit down. They're both good talkers, aren't they? And Matt's in his character, and Sandow's in his, and they both sit in and talk through this stuff, and it's just fascinating to watch.
Yeah.
It's like
So, this is a gimmick that should have gone somewhere. I'm not saying like a championship run or something like that, but it should have.
it had so much potential.
and
to go.
it needed attention, and it didn't get it.
No,
Going back briefly, and then this is that's my pick done. going back to that little segment backstage where obviously Bray and Matt had the titles, I love the fact that even Jeff acknowledged what they were doing.
Yeah, that's right.
Jumped into Brother Nero character, and then Bray Wyatt even referring him to Brother Nero and hugging him.
Yeah.
It's like they all knew that it should have been, you know,
it's a type of strangeness that needs a lot of creativity, isn't it? And I don't think Vince gets it. And I have heard on podcasts that Vince turns around and goes, I don't get it. He did not get Mankind.
No.
Have you ever heard that with the first promo?
Yeah, that's
he
right.
watched it and he said, I don't get
don't
it.
like it. Well,
It's a shame though, because he did try and do the broken character again in AEW, but it didn't work. I think because the crowd weren't there, because it was the beginning of the pandemic, and it was
which was a shame because
Yeah.
that again. You know,
I think it could have gone really well, and I still think at some point it could be brought back.
I mean, was it the again Broken Matt and Brother Nero when they appeared just literally out of nowhere in Ring of Honor opposite the Young Bucks? I mean, that feud was fucking brilliant, and it again just shows that another company is willing to kind of go, do you know what? Fucking go with it, mate.
That's it. Yeah,
Go with it.
just do it.
And it was gold dust to Ring of Honor. Shame. But yeah, that's my first one done.
I think
That's
that's
good.
it's totally good.
Yeah.
From the WWE side, it's a real shame.
Shit the bed.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Right. Who's next?
Do you want me to go?
Why not?
Go on, then, go for it.
All right. Okay, I'm going to go with Chris Masters.
The masterpiece.
The masterpiece.
So close to being on my list, and I was going to
I didn't
have a
even
little
think about
honourable
it
mention
at all.
about that.
Right, I'll tell you the reason he comes into mind. I was thinking about Lex Luger. Do you remember the narcissist character we were talking about last podcast? I think it was last podcast, wasn't it?
It was episode 3.
This was a guy who was 22 years of age when he debuts, loves wrestling, unlike Lex, right, and was willing to give it his all.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he was snake bit and he had a lot of addictions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you just watch his entrance, it looks like he's suffering.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it looks like
is
he's going to
brilliant.
be suffering. His main event.
Yeah. Yeah.
As soon as the whole presentation of it is main event, he's not that bad in the ring for his size. He would have had so much time to grow.
Yeah.
At
He looked
22,
a star.
he looked a star.
Yeah.
He wanted to be a star. He wanted to be in the wrestling business. He was willing to give it his all. He's still wrestling now.
He is. Yeah.
He's wrestling as Chris Adonis.
That's it.
And I think he's in the NWA.
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah.
Oh, he certainly was.
He had a stint in Impact for a while.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
shite. Which is, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
think I actually
it's a
see
shame.
it.
They did try to rehash Chris later down the line after he got a bit better off his addictions. It never worked out for him.
I think I heard that Triple H was a lot to blame for some things as well.
There's the problem is, I know what you're talking about,
read a few rumors
Johnny.
about that.
It was actually done on camera. I'm not sure if it was meant. It was a DX thing,
That's
and it was
right.
where DX are snark. You know, DX have got that like snarky thing.
Arrogance.
Chris comes up to him, and they mention he looks 50 pounds lighter, and they say it was a burial. But I don't think they really meant to do it.
I think this was around the time that the wellness policy thing had just come in as well.
Yeah, he'd come back, and they you know when they're talking and they're both like smart Alex. It was like that where you break the fourth wall a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think they tried to break the fourth wall, but people took it the wrong way.
That's fair enough.
I've watched it back. I don't think there was. To be honest, I don't see why Triple H would do it, because he ain't no threat to him.
No, there's nothing need for it.
So I don't really believe that is the case. I think it was him and Sean being those DX
fucking around.
kids.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he was snake bit, and he was snake bit early on. Yeah. I mean, if you remember, he was programmed quite high. He had matches with Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, he was. He was big push.
Yep.
Didn't he have
Master
a tag
Lock
team?
Challenge?
That's right. He went quite a while with that being undefeated.
Bobby Lashley that broke it.
Yeah, in the end.
Yeah.
In the end.
Never understood that.
It was because they were trying to get Lashley over.
Didn't he
Way
have
better ways they could have done it and not buried him.
Didn't he have a run with Carlito as well? They were
He
a tag
did.
team for a
He
while.
did. They had an off again, on again friendship.
Yeah.
Like, one of them would stab the other one in the back, but then they'd still be friends.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
Yeah.
Like, I remember at Elimination Chamber, I think it was Carlito said, let's team up, and it was working. They were getting rid of everyone, and then Carlito turns on him, but then they were still partners afterwards. It was strange.
It didn't make a lot of sense, but it was entertaining.
But he was one of those young guys, similar to Carlito, who could have had a ceiling where he could have gone up.
Yeah, big time.
I don't know if you've heard the story. A couple of years ago, Chris Masters actually saved a family in a fire.
What a hero. You wait till you hear this. Go on.
I can't remember the exact...
It was his mum.
Yeah, that's right. And he, there was a fire and he went in and he got them out. And
shit.
This was like the perfect opportunity for him to come back. And
okay, well, I'll add to that, John, because this makes it even more of a hero. He grabbed a tree out of the ground and smashed the door down.
Yeah.
As a battering ram. He actually grabbed a tree and bashed the door down to save his own mum.
Ripped out of the ground.
Yep. Yes.
Wow.
That's the true story.
WWE, they could have done something. They could have had him come back with all of this.
There was rumours, weren't there? I don't know if it was this Rumble or the last Rumble that they were going to do it. He was because I remember hearing that he was
3 years ago.
Yeah, he was going to be a surprise entrant.
It was before the pandemic.
Yeah,
I could see him coming back as a Rumble entrance one day, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm just going back to that 2006 era.
Yeah,
I think it was 2005, 2006. There was a high ceiling there for me, and I think that he could have been something special.
They had a lot of, there was a lot of up and coming talent at that time, but they're just.
Yeah, there was a lot of up-and-coming talent, and I think we're going to find out between 2003 and 2006 there was a lot of potential there that may have got wasted a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I
absolutely.
think in some of your lists, some of those people are there, aren't they?
Yeah, my number one pick is
Yeah. Okay, that's all I'll go with on Christmas.
Okay. Yeah. Good pick. Okay.
Back to you, Johnny.
Right. So my next pick. I'll take you back to 1995, and that is the White Angel Hakushi.
Very close to being on mine, Johnny.
Yeah.
So back then, there was no one else like him in the company. He just completely stood out. He was managed by Shinja, I think it was Shinja, who was actually a member of the Orient Express a few years earlier.
Yeah, he come down in a completely white uniform and with a white face.
That's right, he was completely white.
I remember,
Yes.
And Hakushi was also completely in white. He looked a bit like Raiden from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
And then when he took all the white off, he was completely covered in tattoos. Symbols over the face, front,
he looked
back,
really
everywhere.
cool.
Yeah. There was no one else like him. He just completely stood out. Straight away, he was put into the feud with Bret Hart.
Yep.
And, they had matches. I think they had quite a few matches, like the beginning of the In Your House. And I think Bret won the feud in the end, but Hakushi started carrying a bag around with him, and it had like a severed head of Bret Hart in there.
Yeah, it's unreal.
You could say that he was like the original Al Snow.
Yeah.
Everybody want?
I mean, when we talk about things, fuck me, what they did in the Attitude Era, that is 10 times worse.
Yeah.
I mean, and I have seen it on YouTube because it was censored everywhere. But guys, if you do want to see that, it is still on YouTube. It's not on the network on any. That has been taken off.
I even remember him saying, they've got a severed Bret Hart head in his bag.
Yeah, they did.
And he was just carrying it everywhere with him.
Yeah.
So that went on for a little while. And then I remember it was at SummerSlam 1995. He went into a bit of a feud with the 1-2-3 Kid. And for that time, there was no one like him. They were both completely different to everybody else.
I completely agree.
This was even before the Cruiserweight division in WCW. This was just this Japanese guy come over. 1-2-3 Kid had all these high flying moves, and it really is a great match. It's definitely worth watching. But then it kind of sort of all went downhill. He somehow got into the feud between Barry Horowitz and Chris Candido, Skip of the Body Dummies.
Yeah, and it's so sad because he was worth so much more than that.
He had so much potential.
Yeah. Can I just interject something? Johnny, because he was actually on my standby list, and I totally agree with you on Hakushi. his first match with Brett in your house won. I think Brett had to face Jerry Lawler later.
He did, yes, that's right.
It's a fantastic match.
Oh, it is,
The in-ring work is unreal. Now, the story I want to tell you is that I think it may have been Bruce Pritchard or an agent. Somebody told Vince that they've got an opponent for The Undertaker. And it was Hakushi.
Okay.
And Vince hadn't seen him. And it was originally supposed to be booked as an Undertaker opponent. And when he saw him, he couldn't believe how small he was.
Right.
And he totally gave up. And he totally gave up on him.
Wow.
Vince signed him without seeing him.
Oh dear.
Brilliant.
He thought that he was going to be big.
Yeah.
And he weren't. He was He was more like a lightweight.
Yeah, he was like a
and he said, "How the fuck am I going to program the Undertaker with him when he's that size?"
Yeah.
No creativity.
It's interesting though about the Undertaker because they do go on to have a match later on, but I'll get to that in a second.
I'll leave it.
So he gets put into this feud with Barry Horowitz and Skip. Barry Horowitz has lost like 500 matches in a row, and he finally beats Skip with the Body Donners. And then I think it was either Barry Horowitz defeats Hakushi or Hakushi defeats Skip. It's something, one of those. And then Barry Horowitz and Hakushi start becoming friends. And Barry decides to start teaching him how to talk English, and it's just over for Hakushi by this point.
I remember, John. I don't know if you remember this as well. There was a really horrible Survivor Series 1995 match there was like a bunch of jobbers against a bunch of jobbers, and Hakushi was in there, and he had no right to be in there. He had far too much talent. Yeah, definitely.
It was the opening match, I think, for the pay-per-view as well.
Yeah, and it was horrendous.
Yeah, I do remember that.
What year was that?
1995, yeah.
I'm going to have a look for that.
But it just got worse for him. He was losing to everybody, and then the end just came when JBL, who was Justin Hawk Bradshaw at the time, defeated him, and Hakushi was just gone. And the way they explained it was Hakushi was so embarrassed by the loss, he just went back to Japan.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yep.
And the thing is, he never came back to the WWF again, and this was 1995. And he never went to WCW, even in the Cruiserweight division. He was never part of it.
He literally just went, fuck, I'm done.
Yeah,
he went back to Japan.
Yeah, he made one appearance in ECW where he teamed with Hayabusa against Sabu and Rob Van Dam in 1998.
Nice.
And I think the WWF came over to Japan in 1998, and he actually had a couple of matches with The Undertaker there as well.
Oh, shit.
But that was it. He had a great career in Japan and stayed over there.
They made the match that Hakushi was dead and that he rose again.
Right.
Yeah.
And then The Undertaker beat him anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just a shame because he was so different to everybody else.
Yeah, he was.
And he stood out. He had a great look about him, a great character. He was put in the feud with Bret Hart, and then he just went nowhere.
I think the feud with Bret Hart was over Bret Hart winning Superstar of the Year.
That's right, yeah, because on Superstars, Bret Hart
he was given a trophy.
That's right.
And Hakushi attacked him from behind as his debut and smashed the trophy.
Yeah, that's it. That is exactly it.
Is that right?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Just want to ask one quick question.
Yeah.
Has every pick we've picked so far been a fuck up by WWE?
To an extent.
Yeah.
Right.
To an extent, yes.
It's looking that way.
Yeah.
Shame on you, Vince.
Again, just to big up, because I really apologise for this. I can't remember Hakushi's real name. Similar to Chris Masters, the guy in real life is an absolute hero. During the earthquakes in Japan, and I think it was, do you remember the chemical problem over there?
Yes.
He was seen helping people on his own like a hero, dragging people out of debris, and he was totally selfless. He went
in that case,
because they thought that he was involved in it, and he wasn't. He went there just to help everyone out, and he was saving lives.
Fair play.
I think he's done quite well in Japan. I think he's basically, I think he's like the president of one of the companies over there.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's New Japan or something.
Well, it's well deserved, and I always had a soft spot for him. I thought that he was a lot better than he was given credit for. Yeah. A lot of people laugh at his gimmick and they saw it as silly. I never did. I thought
badass, man.
I thought he looked cool.
He was
looked
great.
fucking badass.
Because I thought I was the only one for a while. Because I remember, do you remember WWE used to show a silly gimmicks package? They used to have silly music on it.
Yes.
And Hakushi was in there, and I never got why Hakushi was in there.
He'd be too good to be in there. He just didn't deserve to be.
Yeah, it's a shame.
But it's mad that he never went to WCW as well, when they had all the Japanese guys coming over, cruiserweights, everything.
I reckon, Johnny, it was over maybe the fact of the miscommunication with Vince. I reckon he had enough and thought that his bread was better buttered in Japan. Which seems the case, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, great pick, mate.
Whose goes next?
It's mine.
Go for it.
I think.
This bit may need editing.
What did you do last?
Oh, my first one was Broken Matt Hardy.
It's you.
It's me. It is me.
I think I've got one left.
I've got one left.
Yeah,
because you two are the first. Yeah, right.
Yes.
Fuck it. We'll keep that.
I'll wait till that. That's fine. Go on then, Stu. Just give your introduction, then I know.
So my next pick is really, really going to be short and sweet, much like his career really in WWF. Adam Bomb.
Okay. Interesting, as we talked about Crush earlier.
Yeah. Ain't a lot I can say about it, really. I think his final match against Earthquake lasted 34 seconds.
He did have a career after that. Not as Adam Bomb.
No, I know. And it's Adam Bomb was it was a unique character.
Yeah.
It was unique,
It was different, especially for the time as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the, what was it, the flame-coloured contact lenses, the green dye, obviously, on the tongue. And he was a big guy.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, great physique, great shape. He was great in ring.
I actually heard the tattoo he got on his arm as well. He got done properly.
Specifically for it. Yeah,
it was an atom bomb, wasn't it? Yeah. I think what killed him, we were talking about this earlier, I remember him coming in, he come in with a lot of traction. He really did. He come in with a lot of traction. There was a lot of vignettes about him.
Yeah. It was build up.
Yeah, it was built up well.
Good build up.
And he went on to end up having a match with Razor.
That's right.
But it was on Superstars.
Yes.
And Razor beat him quite quickly.
Yep.
And he never seemed to recover from it, the character. I think they turned him face.
They did. And nothing much happened really.
No.
I remember he had a match with Mabel. I think that might have been at the First In Your House.
Yep.
And that was a qualifier for the King of the Ring. And Mabel just squashed him.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he looked, I think there was the same incident that he had with Kevin Nash there. I genuinely think he fucking hurt him.
Yeah.
Yes. Now I think, and this is tested, I want to test your knowledge, Johnny, as well.
Okay.
I think he was the false Undertaker at SummerSlam 94. Was it him or was it Crush?
It was actually Brian Lee, who was actually a member of the Disciples of Apocalypse with Crush.
Oh, it was Chains.
Yes, Chains.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I got it all wrong, you see.
And he was also in ECW for a while as well, as Brian Lee.
Yeah, I knew that it was one of those little group.
Yeah.
And I knew it was a Brian because it's those guys are really hard to distinguish sometimes because you've got Brian Lee, Brian Adams, and Brian. just, do you know what I mean?
You're choking my drink, you prick.
Sorry, because
all I've got in my head is that shitty Robin Hood song now.
Looking to your right.
Fucking Brian Adams.
Yeah, Brian Adams was Crush, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Yes.
We're not about the singers.
Brian Clark was Adam Bomb.
Yes,
that's right.
Yeah, but
that's right.
all these Brians getting you.
So many Brians.
In the end, you forget which ones were which.
Well, the only one you need to focus on is the life of Brian.
Yes. Quite a good run before he came to WWF as well. He was.
He did. He was.
He was in Smoky Mountain Job for a little while.
Night Stalker, I think he was called.
Yes, he was. Yes. Yeah. I can remember reading that in my notes.
He was
left at home.
He was built quite highly under Jim Cornette, which we went on about earlier.
Yeah.
And he moves on to WCW. Is he not Raph?
He is. I quite liked Raph.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a slant on the Mortal Kombat.
He was teaming with Mortis, who was actually Canyon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. who is someone who could have been put on here as well and was on my shortlist again.
Yeah. Yeah, there could have been masses of potential there again.
Chronic was sad.
Yep.
Because I thought there was potential in Chronic when they come to WWF.
I was never a big fan of Chronic.
No.
I think it might have been because I wasn't really watching much of WCW at the time. I knew they were getting...
Absolutely great.
Yeah, I just rooted for them because they were two guys that had... At this point they were
big
quite...
meaty men.
they were like fucking journeymen, really, weren't they? And I thought they might have found their niche here, but apparently, according to a few people, I don't really want to get this wrong, but I have heard that they turned up and they were not completely sober.
That was in
WWF, the invasion time.
Yeah.
There was a lot of funny things that went on because both of them were the Undertaker's friends. He tried to get them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
into because they faced the Undertaker and Kane, didn't they?
Undertaker and Kane just destroyed them.
Absolutely,
it was
a complete squad.
It was Unforgiven 2001.
That's right.
And they never appeared again.
No. Didn't they have Stevie Richards for a little while as their manager?
Yes,
they did.
Yeah. When they didn't know what to do with him.
When he first came in, he had obviously Johnny Polo, who went on to become Raven as his manager. And then after that, Harvey Whippleman.
Yep. Well, I think they were looking for something for Harvey to do.
Yeah.
It's John Gonzalez.
He was gone.
Let's not even go down that road again.
Kamala. In fact, poor old Harvey. Jesus.
It's a fucking kiss of death. What are you on about?
Sid.
He had Bertha Faye as well, didn't he, for a little while?
Yeah, that was his girlfriend, John. Do you remember that?
Who?
Bertha Faye. She was a big...
You're fucking joking.
Yeah, she was a big...
Oh, no, I remember her, yeah.
No, I don't think in real fucking life. But
right. So I thought that's what you...
No, he was infatuated with a storyline.
He sang they released a music video together as well.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me. I'm not listening to that and Kamala at the same time. Oh, God.
I've got that song.
Oh.
But I can't find it. It's on that anthology, innit?
Fuck it.
The anthology CDs.
Yeah.
It's on there.
I'm skipping that one. Right.
Okay.
That's that one done.
So, is it
short.
just me?
I've got one more left.
Go
on then, John.
Have you got one more? Oh.
I've got one more. I've done Weylon Mercy with you.
Yeah, we've both done him. I've done Hakushi.
I did Chris Masters.
Yes.
I've got one more. Shall I go for mine then?
Yeah, go on. Go for
yours. Okay, so my next pick is the Black Heart, Owen Hart.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
So Owen Hart already had a great career. He'd been wrestling for a number of years beforehand, with Brett. He was the King of the Ring winner.
Yeah.
The WrestleMania 10 match with Bret Hart he had the cage match at SummerSlam 94.
One of the best matches of all time.
That was great, but in 1997, you obviously had the Montreal Screwjob, which everyone knows about.
If you don't, shame on you.
Yeah, obviously, it was the whole Brett going to WCW.
Did he?
I think he did.
You missed that one.
I can't remember much of it either. He went to WCW. Brett, Vince screwed him out of the title. Shawn won the belt. Vince rang the bell halfway through the match. Everything else. I won't go on about it anymore because it's been covered so many times over the years. So it was the so Brett had gone to WCW. Jim Neidhart had gone to WCW as well. The Bulldog had bought out of his contract, gone there as well. So that left Owen Hart, and he was still under contract at WWF.
Yeah.
Now, it was In Your House 19 in December 1997. It was Shawn's first title defence against Ken Shamrock. And...
Fucking love Shamrock.
Oh, I love Shamrock as well. It's a shame they've never done anything else with him.
He could be on this list.
He could, yeah. He had a great one, especially with The Rock in the early days.
He actually won nearly everything except the world title, by the way. I think he did win everything. What did he not win? He won the tag team with Boss Man. He won the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
He won the King of the Ring 98.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had great matches with everybody.
I think he won the European at some point, and I can't remember. I'm sure he won the hardcore.
Yeah. Everyone did.
Yeah.
It was.
I never won it. I don't know about it.
There's still time.
I'm sure you can fucking find it in a bin somewhere like Mankind did.
It's out there somewhere.
Fucking retired the belts, you pricks.
Just make your own one.
Yeah.
Blue Peter badge in the post.
Yeah, there we go. So it was Shamrock Michaels match, and at the end of the match, someone ran in from the crowd with a hood up, and they just took Michaels out, busted him open, threw him through the table, and it was Owen Hart. And when I was watching this, I wasn't sure if it was real or not because of everything that had gone on with Brett beforehand. I actually thought it was
just to interject. It was done so well. He come down in the black hoodie, didn't he?
That's right.
And he had the hood up while he was beating the hell out of Sean, and then suddenly it come open. And what was more good visually is it looked like it was kind of real fight because Owen was actually bleeding on the nose.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was after the match.
Just right at the end, it was just crazy,
Yeah, he jumped over the top. He jumped near where the announce tables are.
I don't think I've
come
ever
over
seen
the
this
top of
bit.
come over the top and beat the hell out of him.
Took him out completely.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the next night on Raw, Vince McMahon comes out, and this is pre Mr. McMahon Austin. McMahon has just been, he's just come out as he's now the owner of the company. Just like for a few weeks, and that's it. And he calls Owen out to the ring, and it's like Owen's like he's saying, "I want to make Sean's life a hell." He's not finished with him. He's going to follow him, take him out, and everything else like that. But what happens is Sean refuses to work with Owen. He doesn't want to wrestle him, and Owen then just kind of gets put down the card to face Triple H instead over the European title. And it's one of those what if moments, like Owen, if he had wrestled Shawn Michaels, they could have had a match at the Royal Rumble 98, the following pay-per-view. Sean wouldn't have injured himself on the casket.
Yep.
Sean could have carried on wrestling throughout the Attitude Era. This was the early McMahon as well. So you could, and Owen was kind of coming across a bit like Austin would later on become.
Yeah.
And you could have even eventually kind of gone from Owen to feuding with Austin because
you had a story there with the neck break.
Yeah, you already had all of that.
Yep.
And it was such a shame because there was so much more that could have happened. You could have had all of that.
Totally agree.
But instead, Owen was put into the European title match with Triple H. He then joined the Nation of Domination, which was just a strange fit.
Again, we don't want to play the race card, but it was because he was the Black Heart.
Okay, yeah.
Because the Nation of Domination was,
Yeah.
And then obviously Owen became the Blue Blazer, and
we all know what happened.
Yeah, we know what happened there.
Yeah.
But things could have been so much different.
They certainly could have. What I heard, Johnny, I don't know if you heard this, but I heard that Owen obviously wanted to come back to work. He wanted to come back for WWF.
Yeah.
But at the same time, WWF gave him a promise of a title shot and run. That's what I heard, and they never fulfilled it.
No, that's right. And I think it would have happened if Sean had just, the way Sean was at the time, he was just choosing what he wanted to work with, who he didn't want to work with, and he just flat out said no, even though they'd had great matches in the past before.
The natural flow of things would have been to go for with Owen and Sean. You're absolutely right. At WrestleMania, you build it up in your house 19.
Yeah, they could have just had the match at Royal Rumble instead of the Undertaker.
Royal Rumble is what I meant. Yeah, 98, yeah. But the Undertaker match sort of come out of nowhere.
It did, yeah. There was
no
real build
I reckon probably the real plans were for Owen.
Yeah.
To be honest. And I remember he moved down in a feud with Triple H, didn't he? I remember China being handcuffed at WrestleMania to Slaughter.
Right. Yeah. And then Triple H sent out Gold Dust, I think, dressed as Triple H one time.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It was just, it just went nowhere. And it's one of those
shame.
ways.
Like you said, it's a proper what if moment.
Everything could have changed. So many different ways it could have gone. And Owen could still be here now.
Yeah.
Still wrestling.
Yep.
Though, a slight tangent, I absolutely love what AEW have done lately with their
the Owen
Hart tournament.
Yeah, it's all to do with Chris Jericho, apparently.
Brilliant.
He convinced Martha.
Absolutely brilliant.
Which is what WWE wanted to do, but they've never been able to do it.
No.
With good reason.
Well, yeah, fair play to Chris Jericho and Tony Khan for that. Well done.
Okay.
Yes.
We leaving that one?
Yeah, that's it.
I think that's a good one. I really appreciate as well, John, that he's not in your Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I did.
And he's in the potential instead, because I wanted to get Owen in this, and I'm glad we did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, my third one.
Go for it.
Okay, so this guy did have some relative success. I think he had a much higher ceiling. It's Earthquake.
Okay.
And it kind of fits into the whole narrative of all our topics, because he's also not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It's a shame, really. He should be.
He should be. But if you think back to toys and you think back to the name, he's one of the most famous.
Can we all just quickly there, one quick question. Did we all have Earthquake as a toy?
Yes, I think so. I did.
Fucking right.
And I still have.
Yeah, in
Nice.
that blue and black.
Yeah.
One of the most shocking things, and I told you guys about this earlier, is that when Earthquake debuted as the Canadian Earthquake, I think he comes in 89.
Yeah, it was around that
And,
time.
and he's crushing everybody.
Yeah.
He ends up in a feud with Hogan, and he crushes Hogan. That was on the Brother Love show.
That's right.
Good. Sorry.
And
Find the lips.
Yes. Sorry.
And here's the shocker. He's 25 to 26 years old.
That's crazy. It's just... He looks about 46.
Yeah.
It's back to that Benjamin Button comment, isn't it?
Yes, unbelievable.
I just look a little older.
He's got so much time to get better. Now, I'm not going to go too much into this, but I think Yokozuna plays a part here.
Right.
I think Yokozuna becomes the monster, and I think it's easy to put Earthquake in a tag team. I know it happens before, but I imagine that Yoko was on the horizon, and I think it was very easy to team him up with Typhoon, which apparently was the plan, that those two were going to unite before Slaughter. You remember the Slaughter thing? That happens at WrestleMania 7.
Yep.
Apparently, Typhoon, or Tugboat, was going to turn on Hogan and side with Earthquake, and that was going to be the main event.
I did
WrestleMania
hear that,
7.
yes. I've actually heard that as well.
Which sounds crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I'm going to do on Earthquake. I'm not going to go into the Dungeon of Doom in the Shark. I watched that last night. It's absolutely awful. Just bad gimmicks. As he moves later on down the line, just bad gimmicks.
It's not even that, it's just fucking lazy writing.
Yeah.
I think he actually went to being called John Tenter for a little while as well.
He did, late on. And he has a sad end. He dies of bladder cancer, unfortunately, in about 2006.
Yeah.
And he's in his 40s.
Yeah,
It's shocking to think that Earthquake was so young.
Yeah. It's interesting because when he came back as Golga in the Oddities, he actually was meant to be coming back as Earthquake then as well. He had a dark match.
Yes. And I found out the reason why in my research. Vince was not happy with him coming back as Earthquake because he had lost a lot of weight.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So he put him under a mask.
Sean O'Hare.
Yeah, so that's me with Earthquake.
Had a great run. Right, my final pick, the Natural Born Thrillers, WCW.
Coach Synergy, was that Chuck Plumbo?
He was part of it.
And Mark Jindrak.
Mark
as well.
Jindrak.
Okay,
I
yeah.
can't remember the fourth member.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a fourth, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Mike Sanders.
Oh, he might be right there. Yeah.
I think he was
That's an
there
old,
with them.
no, that's a
Yeah.
short-lived name.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Great run.
Yeah.
Absolutely great run. I mean, the Natural Born Thrillers they were a great stable. Yeah, multiple tag team champions, and me and Johnny were just discussing. For a guy Sean O'Hare's size, he was about 6'5", and he was fucking big build.
Yeah, it was ripped.
Yeah.
Doing a senton bomb. Wow.
Yeah, he had huge potential. I think
Massive.
WWE saw it as well.
They did, yeah. And obviously when we had the whole invasion, and then obviously when, as we all know, WWE won that, and blah, 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 the rest is history. They just seemed stuck with what to do with him.
Yes.
I mean, I know they chucked him back to development twice.
Yeah, I did hear at the time that they were not happy with the development of WCW wrestlers. They didn't, and I would agree with that. I don't think that they felt that they were up to par with WWE standard. And
I also heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, I genuinely, you guys may disagree, I would not put him in that category.
I think that might have done him some good to get that WWE rub, because I think they might have been able to see what we all saw, that he had a huge ceiling as well.
The gimmick in particular, for the reason that I chose him, was his devil's advocate. I mean, have you guys seen the promos for that?
I've seen them. They're great.
I've not seen them for a long time, but I always remember them being really good.
They're very strange.
Very dark. I mean, quite, to quote him with some of his stuff was saying was, "No, I'm not telling you to not go out and pay your taxes."
Wasn't he wearing like all black? And it was like a white screen.
Yes, and there's
suit,
a white
white
screen behind.
I'm not saying you should go and have premarital sex. But you know what you should be doing.
Yes.
And you're like, fucking hell.
He was almost like that devil on your shoulder, exactly like that. He'd go, it doesn't matter. No one needs to find out.
Yeah, it's exactly it.
Stuff like that.
I mean, that was, like, for the first, bearing in mind, just before this, he had been teamed up with Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they did there.
I felt it was very
pointless.
I didn't see why he was with Piper.
It didn't make sense. Out of shape at the time as well.
I'm not sure if they didn't leave that gimmick. I can't remember the time frame. If they left that gimmick for a little while and just brought him in as a bodyguard for Piper, didn't they?
No, I can tell you because I remember reading this part.
This was with Hogan, wasn't it?
Was it Mr. America?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Zach Gowen and all that.
Yes.
Because he pulled his leg off, didn't he? And Sean O'Hare was shocked by it.
Yeah.
They were both there.
The reason why Piper just kind of stopped doing it was his contract was up. And he left.
Yeah.
And I can't blame him, to be honest.
Yeah.
They'd stuck him in a fucking no-brain, boring, what was the point situation.
Didn't they bring Superfly Jimmy Snooker into it as well? I'm sure they did something with the coconuts and the Rikishi at that same point.
I might be totally wrong, but I'm thinking that the promos come and he debuts, but instead of debuting on his own, he debuts as a bodyguard to like Piper.
The long trench coat.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of my time frame here.
Very strange. Yeah,
it was kind of a waste, wasn't it? Of him?
Pointless.
Yeah.
You had a talented guy. So actually, do you know what? Fuck that. I'm scrapping that. I'm still keeping Sean O'Hare, but I'm keeping that gimmick and the Devil's Advocate gimmick because they're two gimmicks that were they could have been brilliant, but they were just fucking pointless.
I think they were still going to go with it, Stu. I think what they were doing was they were trying to give him the rubber Piper, but he was like a silent party after the vignettes. I could be wrong. The vignettes could come after, but I seem to remember that he come down as just this silent bodyguard to Piper, but was still supposed to be the character.
I think I need to go back and rewatch.
Yeah, I do, because it was a mess. There was a mess anyway. It was all to do with not being horrible. I know you really like Piper.
Yeah.
But it was sort of like all to do with two old men. And Vince.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
and
I agree with that. Involved as well. They had the lie detector test as well on SmackDown.
On Mr. America.
God, I'd forgotten that shite.
And there was so much talent at the time. You had these guys sort of taking up time.
Just wanted to interject.
Yeah, go for it.
I might have got this wrong, but wasn't Mr. America Thunderlips?
Oh, he did have a mask.
Did I remember the mask slipping at one point?
Well, it might have been the melting of lust. Melting of molten lust. I mean, he did pass the lie detector test. They asked him if he was Hulk Hogan. I reckon he was the mountain of molten lust.
Molten lust.
I think he must have been. Yeah.
I was just waiting for them fucking girls to come out. Them fucking girls in the raids. Do you remember he had them all round him?
Fucking hell. Anyway, right, I'm going to finish.
I bet our viewers are fucking fed up with hearing about that.
That's Thunderlips. So I mean, the whole Devil's Advocate thing. I mean, his promos were fucking fantastic. They were absolutely brilliant.
They had so much potential there.
Massive.
They were intriguing. They wanted the best promos are something where you want to know more.
I don't know how they would have got it on screen.
That character. How does that play out?
Yeah.
You know, because obviously it's wrestling.
Yeah.
And you've got to play that character out.
It's interesting to see how it would have gone.
It's such a shame.
And it's a shame that, obviously what happened to him, he died quite young. He had major demons with drink and drugs.
Yes.
Yeah.
After his wrestling career ended, do you guys know what he did afterwards?
No.
Don't think so.
He went back into kickboxing.
Oh, lovely.
He's quite a well-respected kickboxer.
Yep.
And he also became a hairdresser.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, he did have.
He did a
It's
nice
fucking
head,
awful.
He did have a lovely.
He had a
head to
lovely
hair.
head of
Lovely
hair.
hair.
I mean, you go back, guys. Look at them YouTube things. I mean, he had frosting on his hair and
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Even the wire, like the crazy wiry hair, still
Yep.
look cool.
Lovely hair.
Lovely hair,
Like
lovely
that.
hair in a lovely trench
I reckon he
coat.
washed it in a mountain stream.
Awesome
Yeah.
spider
Or in
tattoos down his hand as well.
Kamala's,
Yeah.
In the
Kamala's
jungle, yeah.
tribal village, I reckon, mate.
He probably had his album playing in the background.
Nice.
Waylon Mercy sailing past on the ship.
Yep.
But yeah, it is a really sad ending to his life. As I mentioned, he battled with drink and drugs for quite some time, and I do believe, if memory serves correct, I'm pretty sure he took his own life.
He might have done. I remember him
I think he
dying, and I
did,
thought
to
it
be
was
honest.
a waste.
It is such a shame.
You know, I thought
Yeah.
it was so sad. Not saying that because I'm not saying that on the personal level.
Yeah.
I'm saying that on the because I don't know the situation. I'm saying that on the wrestling level because I do think there was something really, really there. I think
Yeah.
That's why he's my number one.
I always
For
remember
this
him
whole
coming into WWF with those titles,
Yeah.
and him and Chuck Palumbo looks similar to what Ezekiel, who's Elias, looks like now. They were very.
I don't fucking believe that for a second.
They did though, didn't they? Do you know what we said? We said this ourselves, didn't we, about it? They're sort of like the default creator wrestler on the WWE program.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
The generic
Yeah.
tribal tattoo.
Yes.
It is
Because-
a massive shame.
They were two talented youngsters who come in with the WCW title. I remember, I think they faced like the APA, didn't they? And they got absolutely battered.
think so,
I
yeah.
watched that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's fucking awful.
What happened to Mark Jindrak then? Did he...
Mark Jindrak had problems, and Mark Jindrak is
Was he not meant to be in Evolution?
Yes.
Yep.
They split him and Randy Orton up because they were best friends,
Yep.
and they
Yes.
were tearaways, and Randy got away with it, and Mark didn't.
Yeah.
Shame.
And they couldn't let Mark in Evolution because his bad influence on Randy.
Yeah. That's right.
They were both cocky, really bad. Like, bad on the roads, bad to fans.
Yeah.
There is a series, John, Ruthless Aggression, and I think they
haven't
talk
seen
about
that.
it, the Evolution one.
Oh, okay.
They talk about that, and I think Mark's even on it, isn't he? Because there was, and you're absolutely right, it's so weird. You know the video of the Evolution as they're walking with the
Yes.
airfield?
Yeah.
There's some pictures out there
Yeah,
with
I've
Mark
seen those.
Jindrak on them instead of Batista.
Yeah, I've actually
All
seen
right.
him.
Yeah, that was that close.
No, I'm good for him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's my number one pick. That's it.
Yeah, that's brilliant, mate.
Yeah, good.
That's a really good pick. That's a really good pick. I again, I had him on my shortlist. We had a chat about that, didn't we?
We did. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I mean, for anyone that doesn't know who Sean O'Hare is, Sean O'Hare, sorry, go on YouTube, just look him up. Look more for his WCW days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
absolutely fantastic. Like I said, Natural Born Thrillers were brilliant. That is I think it's a massive loss and a massive what if moment.
It is.
But if you get the chance, read his Wikipedia page as well. I mean, it does end quite sadly.
Yeah.
But it's for the stuff that he's done, you know, for his kickboxing career, and I don't know, he had a brief stint with MMA as well. Not like, you know, like a big company like UFC
No.
or BAM or anyone like that. But man, he had some
There was
fucking
something
good
there.
achievements, man. He had something. You know,
Okay.
Shame.
I want to do honourable mention
yeah.
because yeah, fucking go on there if you want, mate.
Fucking
What do you want to
hardcore.
be? Hall of Fame or fucking what was the other one?
Gimmicks.
Gimmick top
I don't know
three
what
gimmick.
oh.
I think you should go in fucking Hall of Fame, mate.
Yeah. All right. Cheers, mate.
All right, well
I'll drink
you're
to
me
that.
on
Cheers.
honourable mention.
Thank you very much.
Honourable mention
Nice.
on that.
Me.
Right, so I remember me and Stu were talking, and we both ended up with him not on our list, and I'm going to go with Evil Doink.
Yes.
He was my number one pick.
Yeah.
Evil Doink was the best Doink.
Yep.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Stu likes them both.
Oh, I love them both. Yeah.
I thought that Evil Doink was so revolutionary.
Yes.
The,
Absolutely.
the way Matt Bourne, the way he did it, he would come down all happy, and then he'd change.
Yeah, he was truly ahead of his time.
Yeah,
Massively.
he was kind of like Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah.
If you look back, he before that, because he had
It's-
that side to him where he would be sinister and happy as well.
Like you said, and it is a perfect comparison with Heath Ledger's version of the Joker.
5 to 10, no, even longer. Maybe 10 years before.
It was that kind of transition from, like you said, he would come down to the ring, happy, smiley, hands waving like a jovial clown, but then he'd get in the ring and just his face would sink.
He'd make the kids cry. And
fuck it. I fucking hate it, clowns.
I thought he was amazing. And as I said before, I love creativity. To bring two doinks out is so clever.
Can we have an extra honourable mention for Dink?
Yes, I'm going to go. Well, no, fucking Dink.
What about Wink and Pink and all the other ones?
Do you know what? That was the only thing that I enjoyed when he was face. You talk about King's Court.
Oh, yeah.
That was fucking great.
Greasy and cheesy.
The way those two did that as a pantomime with the little guys, like Doink and Jerry Lawler. They were running round and stuff, and they were standing on Jerry by accident, weren't they? And all that sort of stuff. It was...
Again, it's one of those WWF theories that you're never going to get away with doing.
So
now.
Just an honourable mention to Doink.
Evil Doink,
Evil Doink,
Actually,
You like Ray Apollo as it as well, didn't you?
I love both of them. Yeah. I do love, but I do
prefer... It was
prefer
Ray Apollo, wasn't it? Who played...
Yes, it was. It was the guy who played Skinner as well. He played Doink for a little while as well.
Steve Kern.
But I always remember seeing Doink when he attacked Crush and he pulled his arm off.
Yes.
And was just beating him with it.
Yes, because at WrestleMania 9, that was the first appearance of the double doinks.
Yep.
The creativity in that was unreal.
It was awesome.
I'm not being funny. What Doink had to work with within Crush, he didn't have a lot of personality.
No.
And really, he carried the whole charisma of that match. It's well remembered, that match, because it's
purely for that moment. More than
creative.
Else.
Because both things that we mentioned are involved in that.
Yeah.
Because the double doink has the arm.
Yeah.
No, that's
he
right.
hits him over the head with the arm again.
Yeah. It's mad to think that the guy who played Doink, the evil Doink, was actually wrestled at WrestleMania 1 against Ricky Steamboat.
Yes, he did. Matt Ball.
Yeah.
And then he went on to WCW as Big Josh.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you've seen it as well. After he was let go by the WWF, he went to ECW. And he
gave up the Doink persona.
He was half Doink, half Matt Bourne. He called himself Bourne
again. He was dressed in normal clothes, but still...
Yeah,
there's a promo out there, and he takes all the stuff off, and it's really dark.
Yeah. He had like a split personality disorder.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's really good. That's some of the best stuff from ECW. It's definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, definitely worth checking out that, guys. I think what we'll do is, we've listed a few things tonight, and as three of us, and I think we'll put some of these on the page. Because there are stuff like Weylon Mercy's vignettes could go up there, couldn't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sean O'Hare's.
There's loads of stuff we can dig through. And find Kamala.
Try and find his album, Johnny. Put it on.
What, volume 1, 2 or 3?
All of them, mate.
Rocky 3 needs to go up there as well.
Yes,
we need a bit of Thunder Lips.
Yeah.
And my Hall of Fame induction. Ching ching.
Yeah, that's all right, mate. I inducted you.
Thank you very much.
It's all right. I'll find you one of those little toy rings and bring it round.
Yeah.
You can get them on fucking eBay and you send them.
Yeah. I might make one.
Yep. I'll make you one. Yeah, that'd be even better. I can fucking make you one, mate. All right.
More love goes into it.
Exactly.
So, we're on the home stretch.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
That's it.
We'll move on to our last topic. And our last topic is just a rehash of what we did really last time, wasn't it? I think Stu wants to talk about WrestleMania.
Fucking hell. Where the fuck do I start?
Do you want me to start?
Go for it.
I'm gonna turn around and say I was wrong. I thought it was quite a good show.
And I will agree with you.
I thought it was going to be crap.
Yeah, I enjoyed some of it.
Yeah.
Not all of it,
No,
some of it.
But overall, was the 2-dayer. I didn't think it was that bad. I was expecting to be absolutely, it was going to be awful, and I didn't think it was.
I'm really, really sorry to say this, but the pair of you can get fucked. I thought the shit matches outweighed the good.
Yeah,
There was a lot of bad, yeah. But there was also some good.
Well, I would say my favourite match, and this is going to be a bit of a shocker, I'd say my favourite match was actually the Street Profits and Arcade Bro, because and the Alpha Academy. I thought that was
fucking hell.
Really, I thought that
you
was
were going
great.
somewhere else.
No, I loved that. That was I'll be honest, that was my favourite match of the whole lot.
I thought as an opening match, it was fantastic. I was shocked.
Good, yeah.
Honestly, thought for a second you were going to say the Miz and that fucking.
I thought so as well.
Do you know what? I've nearly said something that you were definitely going to have to bleep out.
Mate, I didn't even fucking watch that match.
Right.
I've watched it and it came across better than I expected. I still don't like him. I actually can't stand him, but it was better than what I thought it was going to be.
Oh, fucking blood is boiling.
Did you see Jake Paul on the countdown? When the crowd were going, fuck
Was
you.
he there?
Yeah, they were going, fuck you, Jake, and they had to get him off the stage. There was so much nastiness.
I'm so glad you've brought him up, because I was reading something about him yesterday. Have you heard who's challenged him?
Oh, please be Canelo.
Michael Bisping.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's fine. But I'm all right with Bisping, but I want...
So am I.
Because,
You'll kick the fuck out of him.
Mate, you want... Go and watch Canelo.
Yeah.
Canelo ended Billy Joe Saunders' career.
Know.
What do you think he's going to do to him?
Anyway, back to fucking mate. I don't know what's worse, me talking about this or those two pricks.
Yeah, let's not spend too much time on them bell ends.
Do you know what? And I don't know if you ended up watching it in the end, but can you remember? So I think it was the day after the first, the Sunday night, of Mania, and I thanks to Johnny, thank you very so much for letting me borrow your account.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right.
So I started watching, and then I got to Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch. Sorry,
big time Becky.
Big time Bex.
What the fuck was that?
I thought Belair was outstanding.
She was brilliant.
Yeah.
Lynch was fucking... That is the worst I've ever seen her.
I can't stand her anymore.
No,
I can't.
I can't particularly.
She couldn't keep up.
No, not at all. She was a step behind the whole time.
Yeah.
Belair absolutely...
Outclassed her.
Yeah. Outworked her.
Outclassed, outworked, outperformed.
Much better.
She was phenomenal, and Lynch made that match shit.
I didn't mind the match. I thought that she was a step behind all the time.
Yeah, I
Constantly
agree.
fucking booted Belair in the face.
Yes, what I mean. I thought Belair was so good that Becky can keep up.
Yeah,
it didn't even look like a match where there was two equals in the ring.
Belair is just much better. She's so much
She's
better.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think she's the best thing that's happened to the women's division.
Yeah. She was
long
brilliant.
time.
She was brilliant in that match.
Even the difference within a year.
Yeah.
You can tell the difference straight away.
It feels like she's been there a lot longer.
Yeah, I can't say enough about Belair in that match. I thought she was stunning. I thought she was going to be stunning anyway.
Even her entrance was great.
It was awesome.
Took words right out of my mouth,
yeah.
John.
Brilliant.
With the big, it's sort of like a school college band.
Yeah.
It was
awesome.
done lovely. It made Becky Lynch's entrance look shit.
It was pathetic.
I'm not being funny. It was just a limo.
Yeah.
And then
this is
all this
WrestleMania.
brass band come out, and it sort of overshadowed. Becky come across as being completely overshadowed in every department.
Yeah. I used to like Becky. But
So did I.
I used to. Yeah.
It's not the same.
When she was the Irish lass kicker.
Yeah,
I feel, and we've talked about this, I feel that those horsewomen have got too much power.
Yeah.
Yes.
And egos.
I feel that there's an element to them where they're now arrogant. And it comes across on TV.
Yeah,
I can imagine it's behind the scenes now as well.
You've got Sasha Banks.
I wouldn't,
Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it so much on Bailey. I know she isn't
no.
about, but Sasha's...
I can't stand Sasha anymore.
No,
I
it's
just,
not.
I lost respect for her when I listened to the podcast.
Yeah.
I didn't like what she had to say.
These are performers who, when they all came through, coming through their NXT era, they were brilliant.
Yeah,
there was a breath of fresh air. They were phenomenal.
Great matches all the time.
Yeah, so for the NXT era, I genuinely enjoyed the women's matches more than the guys.
Yeah, that was their
great
division.
matches all the time. Yeah,
it was
good,
constant,
and the men's weren't bad either.
Yeah, but as of late, those stars in particular, when they've been, when we've got to the big time events, they're just, what the fuck?
I felt the same with Charlotte. I didn't like that either.
I'm not even wasting my fucking breath.
I'll be honest with you. Stu actually made me watch that, and I haven't forgiven him yet for it. He told me through Facebook. That was the only match I skipped, and he told me to watch it, and I was like, I don't want to. He said, no, you've got to.
And this is the one thing I remember saying to you, was it was so bad, but I was genuinely impressed that you could actually see Ronda Rousey's put some effort in.
I just felt, first of all, I wasn't engrossed in it.
Nope.
I had no reason to watch it because Charlotte, I don't know if did you read my comments about Charlotte on the page?
Yeah.
I think that she's not in a good position.
Nope.
I don't see, to me, she's almost stuck down a dead end. Because if she hasn't got the belt,
what is there to do? The thing is, if she went, I don't know where she would go because she's
I don't think AEW would touch her with the bars.
I think they would, because I think they would on the grounds of that you've got Andrade there and everything like that.
Yeah,
I think she would.
You think she's never been anywhere else apart from the WWE?
Yeah, I think they would, but I think they'd probably end up with the same problems. I think that she is really, really, again, same with Lynch a bit, and they are fighting, aren't they, backstage? That's well known. I think she's got a massive chip on her shoulder, and it comes across on TV, and it's not a fact of entertainment like booing. She's genuinely unlikable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She comes across if she's genuinely unlikable.
Have you seen the shit she did with Drew Gulak on SmackDown recently?
No.
What the fuck was the point of it?
I'll be honest with you, Stu. I try and avoid it now. I don't try and. I watch the highlights as much as I can.
It was
highlights
just
when I can, really.
Honestly, go on YouTube, watch it.
Yeah.
Fucking pointless. Absolutely fucking pointless.
Yeah, so those two. I don't know if you want to run through predictions. I've already done them. Most of mine were I don't give a fuck. So it's difficult for me to tell you what my...
The thing is, I can't even remember all the matches there were.
I've got to say this. So, the big main event.
Oh, God.
What the fuck?
Now, the night before, you had a 57-year-old man giving it his all.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Giving it his all. And hats off to Kevin Owens as well, who hasn't been given the rub.
No.
Both of them put on a show.
It was a great match.
It was.
I've got to be honest about that.
And then
I was expecting it to be over in 2 minutes.
I just watched it and I was shocked. You're dealing with a guy whose neck's fused and his knees are gone, and he's standing there doing suplexes on the apron.
Everything, yeah.
And the reason it worked is he kept everything simple.
Yeah.
Just simple punches, simple kicks. I love the fact he took us back out into the crowd.
Yeah.
I missed that attitude era when we.
I won't lie. Up until when obviously he was doing the suplexes on the gangway and all that stuff, I was absolutely fine with that. But the moment I saw him, bounce Owens off the ropes and then he jumped up to do a Lou Thesz press, I was shitting a brick, thinking, "Fuck me, is his knee's going to take this?"
I thought he was excellent.
It was.
You got to think. You got to think. 19 years.
Yeah,
it's a long time.
Yeah,
with not being in the ring with all those problems, and to put on that, I mean, for me, it's the go.
Absolutely.
I read something the other day that he's actually thinking about if they need him, he'll come back next year as well.
I mean, for me,
that's the only thing I think about. I didn't like as much was the promo. It just went a bit too long, I think.
Yeah, do you know the bit that I didn't like with Austin? I didn't like where he kept staring at the crowds and waiting with the response.
Yeah.
Can't follow it.
Now going on to the supposed biggest WrestleMania match ever.
Is this the third time, isn't it?
Oh, you've heard me speak about that. We got the WrestleMania 33 beach ball match.
Yeah.
All over
Rehashed.
again.
It was awful.
There was nothing new. It was just
boring.
It was finisher, 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 Kimura, finisher, done.
Yeah.
It was absolute crap.
You telling me there wasn't a Suplex City moment?
Well, there was, wasn't there? Yeah, but I see that as part of his signature.
It's boring.
Do you know what? When I was younger and I watched Brock Lesnar, he used to be able to fucking work.
He used to do a lot.
Do you remember
more.
2002
Yeah.
when he first come in?
Yeah.
He used to do the backbreaker where he'd
Yeah.
do it 3
Power
times.
bombs.
Power
Oh,
bomb,
the triple
everything.
power bombs.
Yeah.
He could work. He went in there with angle and had a fucking masterclass. I don't know
Yeah,
what.
60-minute Iron Man.
And this was
Yeah.
this was the biggest issue I had.
That's 2
with,
fucking moves.
The biggest issue I had with this was the build up from Lesnar to seeing him in this completely different persona has been a breath of fresh air for him. He's looked like he's had fun with these promos.
Yeah, I think, it does come across like that.
Do you know what, though? I do put it on Lesnar, I'm afraid. I think that Reigns would have been out there for 30 minutes. I think Lesnar just... I think that Lesnar doesn't give the effort, and I think it shows. I think when you look at how Owens, and that was the main event of Saturday, and you look at how hard and passionate they worked compared to them two,
Yeah.
I don't put it on as much on Reigns because I know that Reigns can have a 30-minute go.
Yeah. The same old stuff he does
Yep.
all the time.
Every other house show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you heard, guys, but the people who put that match on got sacked.
I did hear
Yes,
something
I have
like
heard that. Yeah.
The people who put that match on got sacked.
I want to go on to a positive note.
Yep.
Okay.
And obviously you mentioned the Street Profits, RK Bro, and
Alpha Academy.
Alpha Academy.
I thought that was stunning.
That was awesome.
That was
the one
great, yeah.
I genuinely really loved, Edge and AJ Styles.
A wrestling fans match. I can't imagine a lot of people enjoying that who are just casuals.
I did enjoy it. I think it had moments where, I can see what you mean. The casuals might have found it a little bit boring.
Yeah,
at
because
times.
it wasn't high flying flip about. It was a proper fighting contest.
Yeah.
And the nice little twist of Damien Priest coming in.
Yeah, I never saw that coming.
No, neither did I.
No. That was why my prediction was AJ with something happening at the end. I didn't see the interference of anyone.
Yeah.
I never saw
Genuinely
that coming.
surprised at that.
I don't know if I like it at the moment. I'll be honest with you. I like the idea, but I don't like the creative.
The rumour that I think I did post something on Facebook about
Yes,
this.
I think I saw
The
something.
possible rumours of Rhea Ripley joining that group.
I think she'd fit in well. She's got the
I
look.
think
Yeah.
she'd be perfect
Yeah.
for it.
Don't get me wrong. I want more than anything for it to work because I love factions. My issue is it's very similar, almost a rip-off of the House of Black.
Yeah.
It's so close.
It is, yeah.
And another thing is, I didn't like Edge's entrance because I felt he was ripping off The Undertaker.
I thought it was a rip-off of 3 different things.
Yeah, he come
Undertaker.
down in the old Undertaker sort
Attire.
of cloak.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it.
All I could see was The Undertaker, Gangrel, and Triple H's King of King Thrones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe
three.
you see, now I liked the match.
I loved it.
I did, and
Yeah,
I
I really enjoyed it.
and I'm not knocking it. I just hope they don't rip off the House of Black too much and they go in their own creative direction.
Yeah.
Because at the moment you've got him in a suit.
Yep.
They're all in suits. And it looks like they're ripping him off. It's
Exactly the same, yeah.
yeah. Like he's going on about the Bruise
Yeah.
and saying, "You all forgot about me and my dark past." He never used to wear a suit in the Bruise.
No.
That wasn't what the Brood was. The Brood was about vampire goths.
Unfortunately, they all look like a shit rip-off of Interview with a Vampire.
Yeah.
white,
But
fluffy
the thing
shirt.
is, Stu, at least they're not ripping off what's going on the other side of the
What's
channel.
going on brilliantly? That faction's fucking outstanding. You've got 3 amazingly talented wrestlers there.
I felt, I don't know if he was trying to be in homage of The Undertaker because it was the Hall of Fame thing.
Yeah.
But I felt it's almost like, well, The Undertaker's gone now, so I'll steal his gimmick and put his cloak on.
Do you know what I thought it was?
I'm sorry, that's how I felt when I watched
see what
it.
you mean, yeah.
I thought he just
Does he
left
come-
his coat at home and just found whatever was knocking around.
It looks
the
very reminiscent of...
Here, Mark, can I borrow this?
Yeah, it looked very...
Me, Mark.
It looked
Put
very...
it back.
it looked very reminiscent of WrestleMania 14.
Yeah,
you know, with the torches and the one where he wears the big bit at the side.
Yeah.
It looked like that.
Yeah, very
he looked
true.
he looked like he was trying to be the Undertaker.
Yeah.
That's how it come across to me, and I don't see Edge in that role. I'm sorry.
No,
He's
not an Undertaker type
he's not.
person.
Fucking hell, there'll only be one. You know,
Yeah, I just don't
not
think.
to sound like I'm quoting Highlander, but you know,
I don't know if he's come up.
there can only be one.
I don't know if he's come up with it, Edge. But fuck me, I think he's a bit more creative than that.
Is it him though?
Could be someone else doing it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I do like the element of, I watched a bit of Raw. I do like the element of them attacking people backstage.
Yeah.
The lights going out and stuff.
Yeah.
They attacked AJ, didn't they?
Yeah.
And AJ sold it well. He got the girl out of the way.
He did.
That's right,
Yeah.
He went, so-and-so, leave.
Yeah.
And then the lights went and they appeared and they beat the shit out of him. They laughed.
Which then leads me
Yeah.
to phenomenal fucking match.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take back actually. So yeah, the Edge and AJ Styles match, I'm going to completely scrap that. It was great. It wasn't my favourite.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about something just quick? Do we want to talk about AJ coming down cut before the match?
Oh yeah.
Because I'm sure the viewers will want to know. He got cut on the star. Simple as that.
I saw the video. Someone had filmed it. And,
he got cut on
James showed me
he
the
got cut
clip
on the
of that,
star.
yeah.
I thought it was the pyro.
I did as well.
First.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
that.
He walked through and I think he was so laser focused, he smashed his side of his face into that
Didn't
big
even flinch.
star.
Didn't even flinch.
It was quite a nasty cut as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must have been fucking sharp,
Yeah.
that star.
Yeah.
Can we
Take his
just
eye out.
can we just very very quickly talk about the big return, Cody Rhodes?
Cody Rhodes.
Go on then, John, because you were a little bit on the fence.
I don't know about Cody.
Out.
Like, I think he's better fitted for the WWE, definitely. I think him in AEW didn't work well. I don't know what it is about him.
Fucking hell, mate. Tell me what you really think.
I tried to like him,
Yeah.
and he has had some good matches, but I've always thought it's always been about him, and he's always tried to put himself first all the time, and his family first, and it's always tried to be the spotlight on him in AEW. But now he's gone back to WWE. I think it's a much better fit for him. I think it's what he wanted to do all along.
Yeah.
And no, I'm happy he's back there. I hope he's made the right decision. By the look of things, it seems to be going well so far.
Yeah.
But yeah, just before AEW, I think his time there was done.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you. I love what I really enjoyed what he did with AEW. When obviously his backstage involvement with the company as well.
Yeah.
Because I mean, let's face it, was it All or Nothing?
What, the one he first done?
Yeah.
Was it All In?
All In, sorry, that was it.
that's
Yeah. Because apparently I can't remember who exactly it was, but that was his response to the original idea of him, the Young Bucks, getting a lot of indie promoters together and doing this great big thing. And for the life of me, I fucking heard it on an interview, and I can't remember who it was now, but some big promoter had said there ain't no way in hell, I'd bet cash money that this all fails.
That's
and
right,
his response, word for word, was, I'm all in. And that's how we ended up with what essentially was the start of AEW.
I think he's totally underappreciated. I think some of the fans in AEW should be ashamed of themselves, because some of it was borderline hate and still is. I don't even think it was wrestling.
Yeah.
I think they've lost out.
Massively.
Because I think he is a star. I think the way that they've done this, WWE, which I was shocked by. I was shocked when the music come on, because I was expecting a different theme.
Yeah.
I was shocked that he had the same attire. He had everything the same.
Character.
Yeah. Hats off to Rollins. He was fantastic in that match as well. That match was brilliant.
He sold Cody's entrance brilliantly.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliantly.
I wish him all the best.
I'd love to see a, cliche Hollywood ending, that he does it.
I just hope they don't give up on him.
Yes, I don't think they will. I think that actually he is a star. I do.
He has gone away and he has made himself.
And I go back, and me and Stu talked about this, and they were booing him during the promo, and it pissed me off. Do you remember the last promo that he did for AEW?
Yeah, I got quite angry with that.
Where he actually said, I might not have much time left here, but I'm going to say this anyway. And he turned around and told them all the truth. He said, I'm the one who went away. I'm the one who went and done this. I'm the one who listened to CM Punk. Yes, CM Punk is back, but I am the one who followed his advice. I am the one who went away and tried to make the best of myself.
I did hear that one of the reasons why he left was because he had demanded the same amount of money that Bryan Danielson and CM Punk were making, and Tony Khan sat down with him and showed him all the figures and the ratings for when he's on the TV to when they are, and it was all down compared to them, and he couldn't understand why he weren't getting the same amount of money, why he weren't doing all of this, and why people were turning off.
I can understand to an extent why he would want a pay rise, because he has got other duties within the company. He may not be in charge, but he has got other duties.
He's got a lot of backstage responsibilities.
The thing is, I tell you this, without Cody, because I remember when this thing was going on, without Cody, this thing wouldn't have got off the ground like it would. Cody was the person who had a little bit... Yeah, it had a little bit of legitimacy to him. The other guys were from New Japan. Cody, everybody knew about his background with his dad. He looked the part. He was always wearing a suit. And he was the spokesperson for the thing. I remember when the pandemic happened and he gave the speech and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, that was good,
Love him or hate him, wrestling is meant to be entertainment. There's no reason to hate that guy. That guy gave you his body. That guy went through flaming tables. That guy had a ladder match. He tried everything to get over with that fan base, and they shit on him.
Can we also just say, for the fact that had it not been for this idea that he had, and getting all these indie promotions together with a couple of other guys backstage, he has kickstarted a whole new wrestling evolution.
He's made jobs for people.
Yeah, that's true.
There are now jobs for people. There are now people like Aleister Black. There are now people who can be released from WWE and have a secure job somewhere else. And for the fans to turn round when they know this and give him that... As I say, the only reason I say this is I've heard some of it because on YouTube you can watch from the fans' point of view, and some of it is vile. Even stuff at his wife and her colour. I've heard that sort of stuff in from the crowd. That is disgusting. This is an entertainment thing. And I'm glad he's gone from there, and I wish him all the best.
I do. I'm gutted that he's gone, but I really, really want him to make something of this run.
Yeah,
I think he will.
I really do.
I think he will. I'm glad he's gone. I just, my opinion, I just don't think he fitted in AEW anymore.
No.
But I think he's in a better place with WWE. I think he's, wrestling-wise, I think he's more fitted for WWE. I think he's more characters fitted for it as well.
That match alone that he's had so far with Rollins was fucking brilliant.
It was exceptional.
Yeah, that was not just his entrance and his return to WWE, but that match itself was a WrestleMania moment. But
the way that and this is where I'm shocked that I have to give credit for WWE doing something well creatively. They built him as a megastar. The way it was done was fantastic. The way he raced out of the thing, the fireworks before, the lighting, the way he sold
words.
the way he sold it, the crowd. Yeah. He's a star.
I was expecting this to be a Raw after Mania moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually thought it was going to be after Mania, but
so did I.
Yeah.
I think everyone did,
I had a little feeling it was going to be Taker.
I did.
He gave us the swerve in the Hall of Fame speech.
Yeah.
He said, sent along the lines
never
of...
Seen,
never say never. And I put too much to it. I was like, Vince's choice, Texas, is he fit? He don't look too bad. Yeah. And when the lights went dark, I thought I was right.
Yeah. I actually thought it was going to be the Olympist.
Okay, I want to have a word about him. Okay.
What,
He
Kurt
look-
Angle 2.0?
I'm sorry. I
interested.
really hope. Wish the best for him because I'm a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
But he looks like someone's dad out the crowd.
Yep.
He doesn't. There's something just.
He didn't look in good. He didn't look in good shape.
When Stephanie brought him on, it looked like she picked up someone's dad from the crowd and brought them out as a competition winner. If people hate me for that, I'm sorry. I bet I'm not the only one that thought that.
I'm not sure about him. I haven't really seen anything. He's
No, I felt
What?
nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Didn't care.
He hasn't done anything since, has he?
No.
he doesn't look. It's not all about that, but he doesn't look imposing. Now Cody's not big, but look at the way that Cody was brought on. The way he stood up like that with his
Can you remember
chest.
Kurt
You know,
I know I mentioned him a minute ago, but can you remember Kurt Angle's debut?
Kurt Angle debuted at Survivor Series '99
Against Sean Stasiak.
Yes, he did.
He looked imposing.
He did. He did something really clever. The crowd booed him and he got on the mic. Because, do you remember that? Because they were like chanting boring or something.
Yeah.
He got on the mic and he went, "You do not boo an Olympic hero." And he immediately got over.
Yeah.
Because it was something different. Like,
Brilliant.
It's funny with the Kurt Angle because when he first came in,
loved him.
they wanted him to be a boring wrestler.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that.
But now we've actually got an Olympic wrestler and he is fucking boring.
Yeah, so they got it right eventually.
Well, it remains to be seen, but I didn't.
We'll see what happens.
I didn't get a good fit. They tried it on twice. They had him with the Street Profits as well.
I think he'll be released before he has his first match.
I don't want to shit on him too much.
No,
he didn't look like a star to me.
We'll see what happens.
He might be a great Olympian and wrestler, but that doesn't transmit to professional wrestling as entertainment.
Fucking hell, Mike Tyson's an amazing fighter, but have you seen him acting The Hangover? I don't mean shit.
Yeah.
No, granted, what's happened with him lately, I wouldn't be fucking telling him that. But that's about as much as I want to say about WrestleMania.
Okay, mate. The highlight for me was Cody. But I like to get behind stuff then.
Yeah.
And I think there's a story there. We said about Dusty.
Yeah.
I like
there's a legacy to be fulfilled.
The story, and I could see that you could put a lot of hills in the way.
Yeah.
You could have him lose to Rollins and begin to question himself.
Yeah.
Maybe he gets rolled up and he sits there like that and goes, and we move like that.
Yeah.
Not all the time do you just need to go on a complete winning streak. Sometimes you've got to bring the audience along, and it's got to be a journey.
Yeah.
There's that word again, longevity.
Yep.
That's what they need, longevity.
Yep. And it's not that hard to do that one.
No.
It's not. I wouldn't pull the trigger on that either. I'd let that simmer.
Yeah.
Maybe a Rumble win.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got time. They can build it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everyone wants everything now.
No,
They shouldn't.
I want a story.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, they could have done this story before he even left, instead of the Stardust thing.
That was what his Raw promo was about.
Yeah.
Did you see the obviously jovial video that was posted on his social media?
No.
No, I don't think I've seen it.
Oh fuck me, I laughed so hard at this. So it was a suitcase. He sits down in his locker room, picks up a suitcase, and on the top of it, it's got a note and says, "Hope you'll be needing this soon." Signed H. He opens it up, lifts out the bag, the Stardust suit. And he just looks fucking disgusted. I thought, you know what? I know it's obviously set up, but fuck me, that was brilliant.
I haven't seen it.
That was awesome.
It's funny as fuck.
It's the look on his face, and he just totally sells it. It's worth checking out.
I love the fact that Cody botched as well. He said he'll never ever do Stardust or anything to do with him again. And he done it straight away and actually said, I fucked up. He said, I actually fucked up. I actually did a Stardust thing as soon as I did leave.
Have you ever seen his contract as well? Which I'm surprised they've given to him. He has his own tour bus for his family.
Fair play.
Yeah, and he's asked for a few other things as well, and he's been granted them all.
I said that to you, though, Johnny, if you remember when we were talking about it before. I said he needs to go there, not about money. He needs to go there for what he wants.
Yeah, absolutely.
Creatively.
Yeah.
He's the first person to cross over, and it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a big deal, and he needs to go there and stamp that authority.
Absolutely.
And say, I'm the first person coming over. I do have credit in the bank.
Yeah.
I run that company for a little while, or at least had something to do with running it.
Yeah.
Listen to me. I've got myself over on my own.
Yeah.
Go, let me do what I'm doing. And it'll come.
The money that this is going to draw in is going to be amazing for WWE as a company.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to say, and I would like to put a big thank you out to Cody anyway, because most of our views come from suggestive...
Cody Rhodes videos on YouTube, so thank you very much.
Videos from Cody, so thank you very much, mate.
Thank you, Cody.
And we will be tagging you in this when it goes on YouTube, so thank you very much. Speaking of which, to just kind of wrap that up, I'd like to just take a brief moment to thank Kyle J, who's been working really hard for myself and James, even after a full day's work for himself. He is currently working on sorting us out with a Spotify streaming service account, and it's been a lot of hard work, bearing in mind me and James are fucking idiots when it comes to technology.
We certainly are. So, I can just about use YouTube, guys. So
thanks a lot, Kyle. All your effort it's behind the scenes, but it really, really is really appreciated. And again, thanks ever so much, mate. Really do appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you from me as well. I am so appreciative. I'm supposed to be the tech person, and I really don't know how to do it. When I heard about an RSS feed, I didn't know what the fuck that was.
Well, I'm just here for the laughs.
So am I.
Yeah, happy days.
We're always here for the laughs, mate.
Damn right.
Yep. It's been a fantastic podcast. Thank you so much, Johnny, for coming along. I know mate, it's been a long night.
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, really enjoyed it, mate.
Not a problem.
This won't be the last time if you are happy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yep, this won't be the last.
A great night. Like I said, thank you for letting me come on.
It's our pleasure.
It's been awesome.
It's been fantastic. Yeah, it's been a great time. And, we're all here for the same reason. Love for professional wrestling. And,
Yep.
Yep.
It's been really, really good night. I've really enjoyed it, guys.
Same here.
Yeah,
I hope you enjoy it at home. We are going to sign off. Are you happy to sign off, everybody?
We are. I'm just going to do one last moment.
Okay.
So for our next episodes, we haven't actually picked a topic. We've decided to leave it with Johnny again. So Johnny, in a few days' time or a week or whatever, is going to pick our next topics for me and James to talk about.
I'll get my thinking hat on.
And he's going to post it on our Facebook page.
Yep, keep posted.
Yep, it is our thank you to you for being such a great guest.
No worries. Anytime.
Challenge us.
I will do. Don't you worry.
Yep.
Yes. I will dig deep and see what I can come up with.
Because then we'll be on our toes.
Exactly.
We'll have to come up with it. If we don't pick the topic, we're going to have to...
think for ourselves.
Yes.
Fucking hell, I can't be doing that.
Yeah,
not
it's
this
going to
late
be
at
fucking
night.
tough, mate. Jesus.
But once again, I'd also just like to mention, but thank everyone that's been posting on social media pages, everyone that's been listening, everyone over in the States and Thailand and Canada that have been listening. Thank you ever so much.
I'd just like to say we are massive with Thailand and the ladies.
49% listeners, wasn't it?
It's gone down, unfortunately, but we need you girls to step up.
Yeah.
Come on, fucking hell.
Don't be ashamed. Be proud to be a wrestling fan.
Yes, and be proud to put your percentage in the gender column up on YouTube. Because
50-50 split, that's what we want.
Yeah, definitely.
Right down the middle.
Yeah,
damn right.
Letting the side down, it's nearly 60% now. So the male demographic. Come on, girls.
But thank you ever so much to everyone out there globally, because fuck me, we didn't think that was going to happen.
We're not that big in the UK. We're big in Canada as well.
Fucking shame on you, Britain. Jesus.
But we have such a loyal fan base within the Facebook group, and they really are, in my opinion, they really are my priority at the moment, and I don't care about saying that. I just think that the community is so nice.
Yeah.
And you are all welcome to join that community.
Yeah.
And you are all welcome to comment on the YouTube page.
Yes,
if there's 1,600 of you, please do comment.
Keep commenting.
Subscribe as well.
Yeah, God, with 50.
So I didn't mean that to sound so angry. But yeah, subscribe, like, follow us, give us comments, take the piss out of us, whatever you want to do.
We really don't care. And all we do here is have a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Just get involved.
Exactly.
Yes. Like Johnny has.
Exactly. Thanks ever so much again. And we'll see you all soon.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.